gets on board here. We'll see. How long did it take for you to... Oh, you might not even know it by now. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. You are a little bit challenged in some areas. But do you know port and starboard?
Yes,
starboard,
port is left, starboard is right.
Oh, okay. All right, well,
come on, man. I know that's not something that they teach in Zoomer school these days, but, you know, back in my day, that was something that everyone knew.
Oh, my bad then. How do you
Anyway,
remember
what's the reason between
left?
left and right? I want to know.
Wait, say that again?
Reason that you're asking about that. Is
we're
it just
talking about
Duncan's a
ships.
salty dog?
What? What?
He doesn't even know the lingo.
Salty dog?
Yeah, sailor.
Is that what they call sailors? Salty dogs?
It's a nickname.
Sure, he's a salty dog. No, I did not know that.
That's
no,
what I call you in pubs as well, but you know.
What? Because I'm
You're always salty. You're keeping it
I'm
contained as much as possible. I see you spam that chat wheel.
All right, let's not even get me started on Denog and pubs. This man is... But it's okay. It's okay. We'll look past it. We got 10 players to be worrying about instead of just Denog's egotistical pubs and his kind of brain. It's okay. We'll look past it. It's all good. It's all good.
I wanna talk about these lanes because they've put the Treant Protector away from the Lina. You got a Dawnbreaker down here instead. Maybe just feeling like with the Clockwork, he's going to be looking to make a little bit more aggression happen. Like you are going to get a double melee lane no matter how you set this up. So at least if the Clockwork moves forward now, you're going to get a Leech Seed onto him and be able to turn things around, or potentially even just try and bully XM away, right? No damage can come out if the Drow Ranger just feels too scared to come forward, and maybe even banking on the fact that there's a little bit of PTSD coming from that game number 1 as well, with the 0 and 7 that he ended up with on his TA.
Yeah, and I think this game, a lot of pressure is going to be on the back of XM. I think what we're seeing right now, like, is Shards is your second item. And I think he needs to do it this game against a lot of the survivability that the boys on YBB have. We even see the Shard is honestly a lot of your farming speed as well. With the multi-shot, you're easily able to shove out lanes, easily able to take stacks as well. So for me, I feel like there's going to be a lot of damage issues before that Shard is picked up. And I'm concerned that YBB might get too many objectives beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, even in this mid lane, right? Like, Punker's not going to lose this lane, or he shouldn't, right? You just go a little bit more down, like, the multiple braces build, for example, and then Storm might be able to spam out a bunch of stuff into you, but it's not going to be killable for Kunker, and, well, this doesn't make things any better, does it? Broodmother going down super early on. Pick Broodmother for the lane, and the ability to cut out an area of the map from being able to farm, and to get that first blood. At least it was onto ZZQ and not Lu. Little miracles coming through, but yeah, things already going well for YBB.
So, maybe showcasing why they wanted to kind of swap those lanes up as well. Putting the Dawnbreaker down bottom. We'll see if they're able to continue playing pretty aggressive into the duo that we have down bottom with the Rubik and the Broodmother. Of course, her lane in particular is going to get much better once she's able to find her levels. Luckily enough for Lina, of course, you can easily fall back into the jungle. She will be going for that Falcon Blade first item, so it's going to give her a lot more damage early on. Once that Falcon Blade picked up, Ava's going to have to play pretty cautious.
Yeah, and well, Outsiders on the top side, they've done a good job of clearing out a lot of these trees that Destiny is going to be able to try and play around, so at least every opportunity XM is taking to just take pock shots at Beyond, but it's not going to be too long until he gets into this stage where he's going to have that that Helm of Iron Will, just for a little bit more of that sustain in the lane. But of course, he's going to need to go into the energy booster first to sustain those Wild Axis spam.
With this mid lane matchup as well, I know you were saying it's going to be fine for the Conquer. I guess one nice thing for the Storm is that you've got decent amount of armor. I think really the big turning point with this lane is who's actually able to find level 6 first. And usually Conkers have a slight advantage in that because just your damage. Sometimes you get a couple more denies than the Storm Spirit. So if you find level 6, 10 seconds before the Storm, all of a sudden you don't have the zip to be able to dodge the boat combo, then that could be a potential kill, and this then can start to get out of hand.
Let's
what do we see with this rotation?
Oh, a little off the mark there, ZZQ. I ended up costing him, and yeah.
Thought he was going to maybe run back into the torrent instead, and
Three missed spells in a row. I wonder if that means that they're going to go for an attempt down bot. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you look to make that sort of rotation. No tangos available. Still gets away, though.
He lives in our top lane as well. XM. Yon's going to get fed over and... dived. Yeah, that's just... I'll have a nice trip back to the base, brother.
Eight wild axes.
Boots, it's all right.
Sure.
Maybe run back faster. Just give him a jump. Well, we see the potential, though, that can come out from this Dawnbreaker, but then again, you leave the lane, all of a sudden Lina just gets pummeled into the ground, so he was actually already back into the jungle. Did deliver a salve, so might look to re-enter the lane afterwards.
Be careful of using it, though, with Zhao Ma standing nearby. You can see him just throwing up a high five, and I wonder if he'll give it to him right before he goes down.
Oh my god, it's way too close for comfort. Top lane as well, Destiny stuck inside the cogs. XM doesn't have too much extra damage to be able to provide. Even with that point in the living armor, looks like Destiny's going to be okay for the moment. But both supports going to do their best to be able to exchange blows.
He's just keeping track of where the Drow is.
He's in some trouble as well, but he does have Verify and some stick charges to play with. No one else is going to look to try and TP mid to maybe offer a turn potential. So 7E is going to use his time to actually X himself back to base.
It's all about these rotations from the boss fours, right? Both not resulting in a kill as well. So, let's see. Oh, he wants to try and get up onto that level 6, but Echo has built up a little bit of an advantage, especially with that range creep going down just a little bit short still. Doesn't seem like they're probably going to hit it at the exact same point, to be honest. Like, as soon as this siege creep goes down, 7E will get it, but by that time, you're probably going to have a position for the creep wave to come through. So that's why Echo is looking to play a little bit more around the power rune instead, rather than go back into the lane. It's all about dodging out that Conquer. And, well, he's lucky. Gets the DD on the bottom side. Even a certain death if he went back to the lane before then, and actually might be able to just try and pick up one of the level 6 through the jungle instead, and then look to make a play aggressively.
In the top lane, Destiny should be brought down with a multi-shot from afar. Again, it's just a lot of pressure put onto XM. Even though you get this kill, you've got no more sustain to kind of put XM in a position where he even feels safe to play this lane, so he's going to be relying a lot on that extra tower regen along with the banner creep.
Had to pop the glyph in the mid lane just because you've got the siege creep hitting into it, and that leaves 7E the space to be able to move up towards this top side. You can tell who he wants. It's XM. He's making an absolute beeline for the rest of the laners, making sure not to reveal themselves too quickly, and yep, they're going to find it. No Gust leveled up just yet, so he's going to go down pretty easily.
They still have the catapult? They do. Would you like to see 7E stick around top to maybe get some damage into the tower?
I don't mind it, just because you've got Lou sitting in this mid lane, and of course Dawnbreaker is able to keep that bottom lane shoved out relatively well, so yeah, why not?
Holren, just connects 7E. Great placement. Was the beat down from the Treant Protector as well. With all this going on, YBB are making sure they get full usage out of the map. Lina soaking up the mid lane. You've got ZZQ bottom lane as well. It's going to be important for him to get some levels, potential for him to help stall out the push from the Broodmother with more points from the Celestial Hammer and the Starbreaker. But he did kind of commit now, so I wonder if he's going to be in some trouble.
I mean, the tower's low enough that they could look to make some TP rotations down towards the bottom side if they went for a super deep dive. It's still pretty hard to take out a Dawnbreaker. But yeah, level 6 Broodmother, he's going to be a little bit careful, wanting to keep that clarity up for as long as possible. Not wanting to commit overly with his spells, though, realizing that he's going to need that for potential turnaround. Right now, he's just trying to keep this tower alive for as long as possible. Essentially doing the Treant Protector's job while also providing a lot of damage output.
I'd love to see them try and TP down and help him out, but it looks like they won't be able to. Great timing of the telekinesis, prevents that Starbreaker. So now that you've been able to shut down the Dawn, you should be able to find pretty much firm control of this bottom side of the map. Even XM is actually going to make his own rotation to help secure the tower. So it does look like Outsiders for China going to get a free T1.
It's 2 games now that XM's had a bit of a struggle coming out of the laning stage. At least this time, though, the Lina isn't too far ahead, but like I've been saying, of course, Lou's going to have that upside to be able to play around with. Outside didn't even make an attempt to be able to get out of that one, but we we know how strong a Beastmaster can be if he's just enabled, and he's actually not going the Helm of the Dominator avenue this time around. He's going the mechanism instead, so a lineup that was already incredibly hard to kill is just going to become even more so.
And you even take a look at the Conquer, he's going Blade Mail. So it feels like you are just all onto the train of beefing yourself up as much as possible, recognizing that Dire are going to have damage issues, and we could just walk it down at one stage of the game when we find all these survivability items.
Just park ourselves on their side of the map, have the supports play around the entrances into the jungle for potential gank attempts, and yeah, I like that sort of strategy, although they might be able to run into Beyond up here. Echo has the haste rune available for himself and no Primal Roar. It should be a dead Beastmaster unless...
Solar Guardian, maybe the turnaround. Destiny doesn't have the overgrowth to play with. They're going to try and at least bring Outside down as well. So it'll be a 1-for-1 in the end.
Honestly, Destiny getting a lot of these kills isn't the worst thing for YBB as well, right? Obviously, you would think that it would be good for the cause to get it, but we know how impactful that Blink Dagger plus overgrowth could be. Looks like he's going to go into the energy booster first, just to make sure that he can be the one keeping a lane pushed out solo without needing too much assistance, but yeah, quick Blink Dagger timing from him could be massive.
As we did mention a lot that YBB, they have issues with that gap close. Definitely have the capability just to walk down lanes, but if you want to get that initiation without kind of forcing objectives, and you're going to need someone to get that initial jump in. And see Destiny continue to put himself up top. Meanwhile, both position ones didn't have the greatest lane. I mean, Lou is 1-0-1, so he's got no deaths, but kind of was shoved out very early on. See that, however, Felina is very close to her first kind of farming accelerant, being the Maelstrom. Of course, the counterpart in XM is just parking himself over towards the triangle as well. And the level 6 here for the Drow Ranger, so he's having some difficulties with taking these ancient stacks, but we do at least see that XM is getting some catch-up.
He's got the Maelstrom now. They built him a bunch of stacks around that ancient camp area, so he's going to be able to very quickly pick that one up for himself. And then you can just see making sure to maximize the effect of getting into that Fiery Soul. And now it's just a farm speed that's going to accelerate rapidly for Lou coming through here. Just having a look at the Drow Ranger, seeing what she's going to go down if she is choosing to go into that Aghanim Shard for herself. But it seems like she wants the Dragonlance first. It's understandable, right? You want to stay far away from Beastmaster, Kunkka, and Lina as possible. So anything that's going to provide you that is going to be useful. But yeah, I really do feel like the Shard needs to be coming afterwards.
How do you feel like both sides need to consider their strategy on trying to take this T1 tower mid?
Maybe they're just waiting for something like the Greaves to come out from the Beastmaster. You know, Lina is still a little bit... I mean, she barely got boots. I think she's just got it coming out to her now if she looked to purchase it up. So there's not a ton of mobility available, so you need to make sure that you've got the sustain there to allow you to just stand and fight. We've got the Dawnbreaker, which you talked about during the draft. Speaking of Dawn, she's the Aghanim Scepter. Love it against these styles where you, again, just want to stand and fight with all that evasion. And Dawnbreaker actually dodges out a gank attempt as well on the bottom side. So they feel like they're ready with the mech, with the armor items like the buckler coming through to be able to take out this mid tier 1 tower. Maybe just waiting for the overgrowth as well.
With the hookshot down, it might make it a little bit more difficult for them to actually help protect this tier 1 tower. So we see Lou is easily able to clean this up. So you kind of answer the question in regards to how YBB could take the tower. How could we expect the outsiders for China to maybe respond? Because, of course, you've got a Broodmother with the mechanism and all the spiders. Does she just do it herself? There's actually Echoes. It's onto the Tree Protector at the moment, but it's going to be ever so cautious. The threat of the Overgrowth turnaround will push Echoes away from getting the kill, and now YBB, they recognize they can move forward, but unfortunately, without an X to combine with the boat, they won't be able to drag back one.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that was nearly the scenario that ended up transpiring, right? What I was about to say was kill the Tree Protector, because then you don't have the living armor. You could potentially take out this tower a little quick. It's only sitting at about half HP, so it can look to melt if you were to find that key pickoff, but I'm just not sure if they've got the damage just yet.
Let's see if they've got the damage for 7E. They're going to make the attempt.
This is a Blade Mail Conquer.
Yeah, that's not an easy man to bring down, but it looks like they will. All right, now the turnaround potential. Overgrowth does get stolen. But ZZQ, he doesn't care. He's going to jump inside the middle of the cogs, trying to target the clockwork, but he too will be able to slide on away. So Outsiders Vagina, they get a gigantic kill onto 70's Conquer, and they don't really have to commit too heavily.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to pop the Blade Mail as well. He actually did the most damage in that team fight, just off the back of a Blade Mail and a Torrent, but he took a fair amount. Really quick reactions through from Xiaoma, though, to be able to steal that Overgrowth, so he's going to have a little bit of time once the cooldown comes up to be able to use it again, and maybe even a third time if they're really proactive about it. So maybe that's what they need, just that little bit of extra lockdown to allow Drow Ranger to join into the team fight. She's got the Dragon Lance, and she's 1,000 or so gold away from being able to pick up that Aghanim Shard.
Okay. Intrigued on your kind of reasoning behind this Scepter first item. I too am a very big fan on the Dawnbreaker. I too am a very big fan of this, but we've pretty much always seen this like Holy Locket into the Scepter. Why is it kind of different here for ZZQ?
I guess that's more like... Sorry, I'm just watching the push up on the top
outside. Yeah, actually lands the hook shot onto Lou, but they'll easily get rid of the cogs. Echoes feels like he has the opportunity to be able to zip towards the backline, but the damage is going to be lacking. Look how survivable YBB are. They turn it around onto the clock, and they've got a great Hawk to look to play with as well. See, it maybe has to be the LSA to start. Beyond has the Roar, and he's considering about stepping up. Outside is China. Is this a fight you really want to take? Solely Guardian in combination with the Roar. They're going to hold XM directly into play for the Overgrowth. Might be enough to keep XM alive, but look at the turnaround. Silence onto 3. The boys, they just don't have the damage just yet. Once again, Radiant, the ever so survivable cause, will stand strong and stand firm against the damage of Dire.
Oh, man, it didn't work out for them, but Xiaoma played that fight perfectly. Lands an amazing Overgrowth coming through, steals the Light Strike array, hits 3, but again, it's just that damage issue. They don't have it. And Clockwork really isn't in a position where he can look to make the most out of the Battery Assault either. You know, you dive into this Lina, this Kunkka, the Dawnbreaker, to be perfectly honest. The Battery Assault is the least of their concerns. They're just going to blow you up.
Again, that fight looks so different if you have the shard on the Drow. That's that is a fight. Honestly, I think you win. You got 1 kill on the Beastmaster. You get the proc that bounces off, a little bit extra damage. Survivability isn't as much as well. Like you said, Xiaoma did so much.
Yeah, this is amazing. Like 3-man Overgrowth. There's a Light Strike array afterwards. A great gust coming through. Instant steal. Lands it onto 3 once again. Like, what more could you possibly ask for? But it's just not enough.
I guess
crazy level of play. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you could do everything perfectly, but the team fight still cannot go your way because of just the draft.
Radiant? Could Roche with this DD on Lina? Ultimate's about to come up shortly. I wonder if they feel hesitant without the tier 2 tower being claimed just yet, but I would regardless like to see them force the issue with this power rune now.
I just wonder if that spooked them potentially a little bit, that fight that was going almost in Outsiders' favor, that they feel like they need to get into their next item, whether that be the BKB on the Kunkka, or if it's the Aghanim Scepter on the Dawnbreaker. Oh, speaking of the Dawnbreaker, ZZQ's actually getting dived on this bottom side, and they'll be able to pick him off. Might be a tier 2 for tier 2 trade, though, with the Broodmother pushing alongside this Siege Creep and no Glyph. So it's just a matter of, can you cut your losses and only lose a tower rather than heroes as well? And I feel like Outsiders would be generally okay with this trade. Of course, being behind, that is sort of what they need to do. But yeah, that's the one downside, right? You don't have an outpost to play with. It really feels free for them to just walk on into Roche, and you don't even have mana on Echoes to be able to contest this Roshan if they were even wanting to.
It's a Storm that's going Witchblade first item. I mean, you kind of got lucky with the neutral item, honestly. Fairy's Trinket, one of the best for the Storm, but his lowest net worth out of the cores. That is to say that some of the cores ahead of him aren't too far ahead, though. So a couple of kills and all of a sudden he could pole vault himself up in a better position. Maybe hoping for that second point in the Ball Lightning to help out, but then we were already saying kind of the issues for Dire in regards to their damage. Well, good luck now going through a second life on Lou. Echoes, hang on, brother. This is really aggressive. XM's nearby to maybe get a return kill onto the Treant Protector, but you just lost your Storm for a measly old support.
Mm-hmm. Do they feel strong enough to be able to push forward, though? That's the question. I suppose they've got the Hawk in prime position to be able to reveal anyone, so that's why Outsiders are putting themselves on the right-hand side. They know they came from Roshan, so it makes sense to be... That's where the Hawk is sitting as well. You see the effectiveness of that shard to be able to just wipe out a wave from afar, so... Shows the strength of the purchase. But now they've even got a Hawk set up. Oh, okay.
So, Xiaoma has to...
solve some damage issues.
Yes, without a doubt. So what's the target now for Outsiders of China? Knowing that you have Laguna, knowing you can blow one person up. Who is that one person you are looking to target with this stolen Laguna Blade?
To me, it's Beastmaster. I mean, he's providing a lot in terms of the aura for the Greaves. You don't quite have any BKBs yet on Outsiders, but I still feel like the Raw just holding any of these three heroes, Drow, Storm, Broodmother, into position is going to be hugely detrimental for your chances. And so if you can just quickly blow them up, then suddenly they're not quite as sustainable as they might have thought they were.
Great micro from the Broodmother. It's going to scout out that freshly placed observer ward where their sentry is, so they are well aware that YBB were looking for a smoke plane. They're kind of grouping up around their own high ground.
They are. I mean, ZCQ is so close to this Scepter, and he's level 12 as well, so he is going to give a huge boost to their team fight effectiveness. Even if they kill the Beastmaster at this stage, I struggle to imagine how they're going to be able to fully win a fight. They got it.
Okay, wow. The evasion's going to be really nice as well, right? Versus the Drow?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the big reason why they were buying it in the first place. The multi-shot, yeah, it helps a little bit just to be able to deal that damage regardless, but I'm just thinking, like, the more and more I think of it, the more of this game is on Xiaoma. He's been playing it amazingly so far. He's got the Laguna Blade, which I hope that they can do something with. Just about 45 seconds left of the duration of it. But do they have everything else to be able to combine together with it? It doesn't feel like Storm just with that Kaya is going to be enough.
So they're going to continue on. We're finding the tier 1 tower down bottom, and they're already looking for the tier 2 as well. A lot of damage is getting put into it, so outside of the China, I mean, what are they getting out of the map? Tier 1 towers getting shoved up top, Triangle's getting farmed as well. They will get the scan on the mark, so Radiant are aware that no one is starting to come back to set up a defense, so that's all the outer towers now gone.
Yeah, it is, and you've even got Destiny sitting up on this top side, still 700-800 gold away from his own Blink Dagger, but he's got that Philosopher's Stone, so his job might even just be to act as a bit of bait up on this top side, especially considering you've got the Dawn there. Probably put Dawn first, see if they look to make the jump onto him and then make the turnaround.
The thing with the kind of this Aegis
Never
as
seen
well.
a Rubik use Starbreaker. Actually, I want to see
Did
how
he
it
just
works.
shoot?
No, he's just got it. Swings around his staff, I guess.
You get extra.
I don't know. That's why I'm like, I've never seen it.
Yeah. We'll get to find out. I think importantly for YPB with this Aegis is it's not only if they got a lot of objectives, but Lou is also well and truly continued to pick up his farming speed. Top of the net worth,
Second
4,000
out of the laning stage in terms of cost.
Yeah, which is
now
crazy.
He's
I mean,
$4
it's
grand ahead.
Yeah. Goddamn Lena things. And then also they did a really good job to enable her, making multiple stacks inside their own jungle, and you now are about to have a BKB. So a lot of the damage from Dire is kind of magical. Like you're going to need that capability to blow her up before the BKB, and I don't think they've got the chain control to do so.
Who do you even put first on Outsiders? My mind just keeps going back to that. Like you're almost into a Lotus Orb for the Broodmother, which feels nice, but you throw it onto the Storm and you get roared. Who cares? You know, you might roar back onto the Beastmaster, but you've still got plenty of damage with that Lena and the Kunkka to be able to take the Storm Spirit out during that stun duration.
Is the concern. Storm getting blown up is something that cannot happen, and see what YBB can look to do with the smoke. I'm going to try and charge over towards Dire's Triangle. 70 on the front. Of course, Destiny nearby to be able to follow up. I'm going to try and target him with the Broodmother. Not the easiest kill considering he's got the Greaves. LSE is going to try and delay this to enable Ava to make it back towards the higher ground, and Rude will be able to do so.
Drow is spending this time farming, so it's not like they're getting absolutely nothing out of this heavy defense. Of course, Drow are pretty decent at that high ground push defense, just through the multi-shot from very, very far range. They're pinging her out, though. She's just walked underneath vision, but will be able to get out just in time.
And it's going to be a pretty big item for her.
Yeah. Loot. He's got the bots available, so he can look to join in his team at any point. You know that the Drow just TP'd out. Again, she is a big part of the damage, so feel very confident in just staying down here somewhat on your own.
Yes. Smoke on smoke. Outside it's for China. Oh, they want to get some map control back. It's been all YBB so far through the 24 minutes, but let's see what Dai can do as Rubik will get the jump in. Storm Spirit to follow up as well. They're going to try and blow up the Conquer with a BKB. Conquer's going to be able to turn around. Laguna Blade, they'll cut her down. Storm's gone. They did still Laguna Blade, but it doesn't look like Dire can get anything out of it. They're on retreat as XM almost caught up to, thanks to the Treant Protector. They'll actually look for outside instead as Lu, in combination with 70, can easily chase down the position 5. That's another member. Ooh, all right. They found a hookshot target. XM, great position, was able to get outside away. So in the end, it's just a Storm Spirit. It's a casualty of war.
Yeah, Storm Spirit for a BKB as well. So I wonder if immediately when Storm's back alive, they look to make an aggressive movement. Again, they stole the Laguna Blade on Zhao Ma, so they've got a lot of burst potential to be able to pick off someone like the Kunkka now. A lot of it being magical as well. So even the evasion component of that Solar Guardian coming through won't be as effective at being able to stop it.
Long zip in. They've got the Observer on the high ground, but Bruce will think twice about continuing with that secondary zip.
They just don't have
he wants to just go. Echoes just wants his BKB as well, right? And recognizing how important it is for his survivability in some of the fights.
Still get roared though. That's the downside.
All right, there we go. There's the Laguna on 7E. Finally! Outsiders for China are able to get something out of the map, but meanwhile, bottom lane, XM's been caught out as well. The Tink Award, beautifully done from the supports of YBB. They've seen so far how the Drow Ranger has been attempting to play this game with the multi-shots in the tree line, and this ward is specifically for her.
Pays off in a big way. I mean, again, the Kunkka didn't have the BKB. He didn't have to expend another charge of it. There's no Roshan immediately for them to be able to take advantage of, although it's a pretty quick respawn, just 30 seconds in total and 10 seconds remaining on it. So that really feels like the next place that both teams will be wanting to contest. Of course, an active in someone like the Storm Spirit could provide that little bit of extra damage output so that if you catch someone out, it actually means you can convert it into a kill and then look to snowball off the back of that. Even Rubik, to be honest. Jama's been playing so well that I would back him to be able to save my cause in a sticky spot.
Yep, well, that could be really important. Disrupt the Raw combo, even the Overgrowth as well to reposition, because all of this game is just how can you, both Drow and Storm, like they can get out of some of the team fights with Hurricane Pike and Storm with being able to zip away, but if you get chain control, then you're going to have some difficulties, and maybe that's where that shard from the Rubik can come into play. But the issue is you need to win this next team fight, and YBB with their smoke, they're the one that's going to be on the front foot here. They've got so much vision to play with as well. Beyond, it's got this Aghanim shard, so Hawks galore. They look to invade, but no one is home at the moment from Dire. Echoes might run into them. They've got their own ward, but this outpost getting claimed, they will be aware of YBB.
Yeah, every action that they're taking is just in response to Roshan is coming soon, and we need to be ready for the fight. Ava, you're very far forward, my guy. He is under his own vision, but if he steps too far forward, he's going to get caught by things like the Torrent, by the Observer Ward vision that they've got on the north side of the jungle. So maybe they go for a full wraparound, trying to find the backlines, but they're just clumping together so nicely on YBB, not letting anyone get caught out solo. Although bot lane? Okay, they got the X onto Lu. I was wondering, like, surely he's not going to right before a Roche attempt.
They only have Laguna for a little bit of time here from Zhao Ma. Let's see if maybe they feel they're on a bit of a clock to take a fight with this Laguna still available. Maybe about 15 seconds till it expires. The top lane's getting shoved in as well, so they kind of have to make a call pretty shortly here on Dire.
Yeah, it's still only about 10 seconds left on that spell steal, and they're actually just full-on hitting into the tower now. Going to expend the glyph for it. They're not They're not pushing mid. They're not going for Roshan. That's where the pings are happening. They're like, well, can we just walk into it? Can we look to consider this one? Well, let's make a decision. Lou's like, all right, I'll keep hitting this. If someone TP's back, it's not like our Dawnbreaker. It's not like our Kunkka with X marks. We're going to always be able to find someone out in the wrong position.
This is not a good timing for this smoke. Echoes has to refill the mana.
And the top lane is still pushing in. So
and now that they've shown the storm away, they're going to look to try and D-ward. Somehow, Dire need to protect the ward, but it's going to go down. No way they can set up the formation. Storm's starting to come to the area, but as soon as you lose that ward, this is not an easy spot to take a fight.
That is so dark right now for outsiders. There's nothing really that they can see. It would be great if they could pick off that Dream Protector, but he walks back inside with Lotus Orb. Wanted to commit too far though. This game, it's on a knife's edge, right? It's an 8k net worth lead, and you feel that YBB are the ones in the commanding position, but just have a look at some of the drawings on the minimap. Kunkka's saying this is where they could potentially be coming from. Let's look to set ourselves up to be able to use the Hawk for that sort of vision. Let's put the Treant in the tree lines to make sure that that smoke is going to get popped instantly. They'll find the jump. They'll Tage.
Close to temp. Out wave, not to the mark, unfortunately here for 7E. So once again, smoke from YBB.
Footsies, man.
That it
like,
is.
Oh, will I? Won't I?
Back and forth. It's who's able to control the territory for a little bit longer.
Rubik, very ballsy jump forward. Jalmar just trying to catch someone out on the front lines, but it might be himself that gets caught.
Ooh. What? I think one thing quickly to mention is the fact that Radiant, they have this outpost control. So the potential for them to buy back and rejoin the fight could be really huge. Because this Roche fight is what feels like is probably going to determine this game.
Bro, Lina's got bots too. So she's TP'd in onto 17 now, just inside the pit. And that's how quickly it's going down. They're like, all right, we're sick of this. We're sick of this guessing game.
They don't know. Roche's going to go down and Dire too late to contest it. A free Roche ages given over to Lina. The shard as well. Who's got that one?
Not sure, actually.
ZZQ's holding it for the moment.
Yeah.
And he's going to eat it. Okay.
Makes sense if he wants to stay on the front line with all that magic resist. It's not like they've had to use many BKBs so far. I think just 2 activations. Once on the Kunkka, once on the Lina. So even the effectiveness of having that magic immunity, sorry, that magic resistance after the magic immunity is gone, isn't going to be quite as impactful as it would. It's a luxury, really.
All right. Yep. All right. This is what's going to happen. Just X and Storm's back to base. This is what we're going to see probably for the entire ages. So have fun, guys. Buckle in. I guess at least, but you only got about a quarter duration left on the stolen ability. But yeah, you want to tell us a story, Daniel? You got any good stories? Campfire stories even?
Do I have any good stories?
You'd be boring around a campfire, actually. I bet. You'd have no stories.
Oh, you don't even give me the opportunity, man. All right, go on. Go on, Story Master. I want to hear one.
Story Master. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's right. Hard to come up with something on the spot. No, don't start like you've got hundreds.
It's a question of which one I want to bring up.
You're going to spend 2 minutes talking about which one without actually saying anything, and then a fight's going to happen and you're going to forget about it.
I mean, the fight that I almost recently got in with a crocodile, where we kind of went back and forth, was far out, dude. That was a pretty goddamn crazy crocodiles. Man, dude, you got to watch out for them. Sometimes they spring out of nowhere. They come up from Queensland. Some of them tricky boys to handle. But that's always a good one to bring up. I don't mind the drop bear ones as well. Had some difficult run-ins with them a couple times. But
I mean, those are serious though. Let's not joke about drop bear attacks, because they are just, they can get out of control sometimes. If you don't believe us, have a look at the official Australia Museum. They are a real thing.
Official Australia Museum.
They're there.
Yes, 100%. All we speak is facts. That's it. That is the only thing we know. Never lies. Only facts.
I thought you were going to go into your Mykonos story for a second when you were put on the spot.
No. I told you that? Oh, yeah,
yes.
That's fine. Where did I tell you that?
TI.
Yeah, no, that was... not do that. If we get a really long... You know what we haven't gotten? China
long
blesses us with no pause. Like, barely any.
Oh, you
Echoes?
jinxed it. It's going to happen.
Should not. Although Echoes is... going in for the Lina. What's...
He's trying to get a BKB out of her.
damage.
Yeah, he's trying to get a BKB out of her, but she's like, well, I'm tanky, and I have Satanic, and I have Aegis. So, really not that concerned. And she immediately comes up with her 1 second or 2 second cast time? 2 second cast time on my TP scroll.
Alright, your buildings are falling pretty goddamn fast. They need a way to respond to this, and maybe the Vortex to set up for XM. Alright, we're seeing the Drow starting to output a decent amount of damage, so force out the Solar Guard into the force staff. Ava's able to get out, but the Overgrowth is there for the Dream Protector. Holding 3 into place, the setup for the Torrent and the Conquer combo! Drags him into the meat grinder. Beautifully done from YBB. You couldn't have asked for better.
He's trying to do everything on his own, Echoes, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. That Lincoln Sphere has honestly saved XM a number of times now, and it really felt like they pressed the trigger to go as soon as they saw that Rubik spell steal off cooldown. They made sure to blink in, use the Overgrowth while he had the Torrent stolen. But ooh. I mean, he's still got a minute left on this Aegis. I don't think he's all that concerned.
They even glyph to stop the Satanic kill. Might be able to kill him with the multi-shot. XM's going to be cautious over the Pyke on cooldown.
Okay. Let's get into safety near the tree line. All right.
Still got a BKB to work with. Echoes. All right, there's to go. BKB's going to be forced out. Echoes doesn't have a whole lot of the mana. They're actually going to turn to 7E. And look at XM just standing strong. This Drow Rage is starting to get a lot of the damage going inside the middle of the fights, and they'll get ZZQ as well. The Dawnbreaker will not be able to escape as the boys on YBB will cut their losses at 2.
Oh man, if Lina overextended for like another half second, just with that insane cast range on the tidal wave, they would have been able to push her back into the base. They were really just waiting for the BKB to expire, and that probably would have been a kill onto Lu, just his first of the game. Look at all that damage coming through from the Drow Ranger. It is kind of nutty what a Drow's able to do if you just let her sit back and fight, but, well, you would still have to say that they're relatively satisfied on YBB. A full lane of racks gone. A tier 3 tower still fully standing in the mid lane, but it's just at the cost of 2 heroes.
And I think the issue for Dire is still going to be that you need to somehow force Solar Guardian out very early on, which we saw at the top barracks, which was a big reason of why they were able to get the kills defending mid. And I think you do have that capability because Storm can zip in, XM can, with all your attack range and your Hurricane Pike to reposition. You've got Lincolns now to provide the defensive factor. And also, we're still yet to see the shard from Xiaomo. He's not even queued it up at the moment, so you know, that could be... I guess you've got another force up on the clockwork, so I really think the play is going to be like zip in, get the Drow Ranger to force out some abilities, double force off her to safety, and then re-go again when Storm gets the mana pool. That's really the... Or it can only happen when YBB is sieging, I suppose, because Storm needs to be kind of close to the base.
Yeah, so outside holding on to like 4,000 gold, basically. So
Ooh,
he's bought up, he's gone for a halberd now. I don't hate it. I kind of would have liked him to go into something like the jetpack, just because he's holding on to the gem right now. And I feel like a big portion of a successful team fight is finding out that tree and protector. So if you're able to, you know, zip in, jetpack over the tree lines, find him out, and then use your initiation on top of the Storm Spirit, burst him down, then suddenly there's not that Overgrowth turnaround potential.
Which could be really scary in the fight, considering Destiny is getting pretty close to this refresher. Look how aggressive he's playing, because the boys are going to be able to follow up. X is there, so Xiaomo well back into the grasping jaws of Lu, and meanwhile, bottom lane, Echoes is going to be okay.
Going into the Aghanim Scepter for himself. 300 gold away, not too far. I mean, is that what this teamfight is going to boil down to? This eventual one that's been brewing for quite some time? You know, it's an 18k net worth advantage that they've got still on YBB, but if you get a big Aghanim Scepter grip on the Storm Spirit, combine that together with a multi-shot and probably a stolen spell by Rubik, either Overgrowth or Torrent or Lightstrike Array, that could be the difference.
He's still holding the Fairy's Trinket as well in the Storm.
It's a good item. What can we say?
Even Drow's got the Spell Prism, okay. I mean, that's pretty nice with Shadow Blade and Hurricane Pike, even multi-shot. 10-second cooldown. They've got that 20 talents.
sorry.
Sam?
I find the drow, but good for stuff. Look at all the good items that Radiant have. All these tier 4 items that are like the premium ones. And no one's using a spell prism. No one's using a telescope. No one's using Penta Edge Sword. Again, it's just all about survivability for them, right? You've got the lifesteal from the Paladin Sword, you've got the evasion from the Elven Tunic, and you've got the Ascetics cap for the status resistance.
Seeing
And Dawn just wants my... Dawn has a refresher, man! Dawn is
triggered his
third!
shit?
Oh,
wait, what?
I was like, they're making so much space for ZZQ. He's like, I don't know, this is just a pub. I'm carrying my team, I'm just farming away. He's playing PvE right now. This is not player versus player.
He's got that extra little bonus coming through from the Force of a Stone as well. So it's like, I'm going to be pretty vital to our team fight. Why not help out to get some extra little bit of items as well? It's a big reason why this net worth lead is 20k. And we probably have to start to mention, like, do we feel like there's going to be issues with the Drow Ranger being the only person to have net worth? Is this a game where if all the gold is in the Drow, it's a game where she can still carry?
Maybe? I mean, I'm just thinking, like, how late can this game go for outsiders? You know, like, if you get up to level 20, you get that little bit of extra duration on the Vortex now that you've picked up the Aghanim Scepter. If you get to 25 and you get a Shard, then maybe you get these big wombo combo bounces happening. I'm just seeing with ZZQ and his positioning as well, like, I don't think he's going to reveal on the lane at all because he doesn't want to give away this information that he has the Refresher Orb. Like, if they see a Solar Guardian come in, maybe that's going to be the trigger for outsiders to say, all right, time for us to go. But then, bam, number 2, not expecting it. They turn it around, they win a team fight, they use the Aegis and Cheese and everything else that they just picked up.
What's XM doing here? XM is just going to be caught out all of a sudden. YPB? Wait, detection? No?
Kunkka?
Anything?
Kunkka's
He's got a
got
gem to try and get the torrent. The vision's there. Drag back with the X. XM.
Maybe they felt comfortable with the vision that they had. I mean, outside had placed down a couple of nice observer wards. That's all I can think of. Maybe they feel the Storm Spirits farm is more important at this stage.
We're going to have a force to drop a buyback out of Drow Ranger now to be able to hold this high ground. All of a sudden you kill her one more time, then I might just be all she wrote. And they're about to have multiple refreshers. Refresher Shard. Who'd give that? It's in the backpack of the Lena. Of course, she spoke about the Dawnbreaker. And saw the tree very, very close. But in fact, he's got it coming out of the courier. So all these ultimates that you have to play with, how do you team fight on Dire against this?
You don't. You don't. Like, Xiaoba, I have faith. He can do it. But he's going to need to have the team fight of his life.
Oh, what a nice setup. Tidal wave into the LSA. Moving on to the 4-star.
Didn't use too much, though. Yeah, they just use 4-stars and Lotus Orbs. No Greaves, no BKB. So they're holding them back for a little bit, but if they could hold this without the Drow having a buyback, that would be great as well. Just 10 seconds away.
They should be... Dive bomb. They're set up for the Torrent. They want to commit to the clockwork. He's taking a lot of damage.
Wonder if he drops the gem.
Next back to the grass, but looks like he'll end up going down. And he's going to be able to pick up the gem. Drow Ranger is back alive, though. Clock doesn't have a buyback, though, importantly, so they're still going to have to do this 4v5. 7E, that's an aggressive jump. Beautiful Manta from XM. And he's able to get out of the range of the Solar Guardian as well. A great start to the fight from Dire. You kite multiple ultimates. Can they look to do anything with this, though? They're going to try and target down with the Beastmaster. Second round of the Solar Guardian. Beyond, he's going to be able to stay alive long enough. They haven't gotten the kill just yet, but simultaneously, they're not onto XM. So the Drow can reposition, gets himself in a safe location where he can go back onto the Dawnbreaker. And Alu, well, he's still got the second life to work with. Let's see if Radiant going to be able to set up a formation to protect him on the respawn. Destiny's off to the left side, but he doesn't have the overgrowth. LSA stolen into the damage from XM. And they'll hold the high ground. Boys from Dire, they'll live to see another day.
Oh, I was like, hey, wait a minute, Clockwork doesn't have the buyback? Because I saw it. When he died, he did. I think he might have bought a TP scroll or something like that out of habit. He made sure to put the Philosopher's Stone into his inventory while he was dead, and mid-fight is actually when it came up and allowed him to get that hook shot onto the Lina. But just see how important this high ground defense is. It was even a pretty good usage out of the double Solar Guardian, but again, they just weren't able to close the gap onto this Drow Ranger. She was very, very cautious to make sure that she never overextended too far. Good protection being provided there by Echoes to make sure that the Drow just wasn't going down for free. And well, she's level 24, nearly level 25. Going to have additional multi-shot waves, which would be pretty effective if that's the avenue they want to go down with the Frost Arrows. Storm just level 20, but if he can get up to his level 25, I'd be feeling not confident in Outsiders to take it, but see a really big possibility for them to be able to close out this one with a W.
Stupendous.
We can see what can happen though. Like if Outsiders can kite these abilities on YBB, this is a lineup that is pretty committal. It is not easy for them to be able to disengage. They don't have that innate mobility to reset some of the fights, and they haven't itemized for it as well.
Is it just a matter of slow sieging? Like, do you go into now the... I kind of feel like Beastmaster, this is the point where you go into the Helm of the Overlord. I know it's super late, but just let Lina siege. Let your Hawks give the vision. You know, put the living armor onto them, and then Lina can be right-clicking away with her Satanic and her insane tankiness, with the additional damage coming out from the Vlad's component from the Helm.
I think what he's probably going to look for is this blink after the Hex, which will finally give them an avenue to actually instantly start fights, Hex into Raw. That's what I'm going to imagine he looks to go for next is Yama. We'll be able to intercept them though. Outside on the low ground's also going to be caught out as well. So both supports will go down on the side of Dire.
This one not having buyback on the clock.
Yeah, they used it before, so it's just the Rubik, and Jama's going to buy back instantly.
They know they're keen to fight. Still having the cheese available, of course, on the Kunkka. I'm just thinking, is there anyone else that would be better served given that one through too? I could imagine maybe the Dawn, just because she's going to be playing a little bit more on the front lines with that that Solar Guardian. Farm she is. Still third on net worth. Trying to find the pick off onto the Lina to start with, but how do you get through all of this defensive potential?
And the Refreshers are back up as well. Both Destiny along with ZZQ's Dawnbreaker. Got these second rounds with the important ultimates to work with. This Barrack should end up going down, although the Lina's starting to be brought low, but the Drow Ranger brought back into the combo! Laguna Blade evaporates the health pool, and now the second round of the ultimates as well. Echoes will drag them back to enable the retreat, but he's got no more mana to play with. Right clicks galore, the crits are out as well, and soon the Gs are going to be dropped without the buybacks available for Dire. It looks like YBB once again will find another 2-0, and we've been questioning who that second place team will be in China. YBB at the moment, they're showcasing why it's going to be them, and see one more defense, but I don't think there's much they can do. Mega creeps, tier 4s are falling, throne soon to be exposed. YBB
cogs it back into the fountain.
Whatever you can to get that extra little assistance from the fountain, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough. 40 seconds till the boys are up. They'll make him work for it in the end. One last fight for good measure, for the respect of everyone, but a hell of a combo's out. Lou will cut down the life of the Storm Spirit. They might even look to go in to get some more kills inside the base. And with the G's being dropped, YBB will be victorious in our last series.